The first rule of making money is to first not lose money. When I was in college, I was more desperate for money. So I was prone to offers like selling knives, MLM schemes. I came so close to joining so many of these until I realized that they were trying to separate me from my money. They weren't real jobs. And it was funny because when I calculated the effort that it would take to actually make money in these schemes, I was like, why don't I just get a real job? Because the effort that this thing requires to be a standout success, because they're all based on sales and recruiting people, if I'm going to expend that effort, I might as well start my own company or just try really hard to get a high paying job. And so that's what I realized when I came across these multi-level marketing schemes is that the first rule of making money is to not give my money to these businesses that are going to make me lose money, that are not a good return on investment. Kahneman, the famous behavioral scientist and economist, talked about system one and system two thinking. System one is basically our reactive reptilian brain, our animal brains that crave instant results and dopamine. That is what we're naturally wired for and prone to. When you're in a state of desperation, that's going to lead to reactivity, and that leads to short-term thinking. And short-term thinking leads to these get-rich-quick businesses that are scammy and are just out to make money for themselves and not enrich you. System two is the slower thinking where you are methodical, you evaluate things, you come from a place of calm and peace, and then you arrive at your decision. It's really important to do system two where you find yourself wanting to make a lot of money. And that's because there's so many players and products and companies that want to sell you the short-term solution. Another thing that's interesting about MLM schemes is selling the lifestyle. They always talk about doing work from the beach and you're collecting these amazing paychecks and so little work, right? After all that pizzazz, if I actually talk to the people, they seem quite pushy and also they seem quietly desperate. And I don't think anyone who's in a place of financial strength and calm is going to have that energy. They're not going to be trying to push their product onto me. And if the product's so great, then the product should speak for itself versus these people having to sell the lifestyle so much, where it becomes more about this dream lifestyle versus what is the actual thing that they're selling. Is it knives? Is it juice? Is it tea? Be real. One thing I see often is when someone hits a rough patch, they'll pick up something like day trading or stock trading. And I get it. It sounds sexy because you could do it from your phone, from Robinhood, and maybe you make the right trade. You can have money in your pocket that day. But statistics show that the vast majority of day traders lose money compared to just the boring passive investor who just lets their wealth sit in index funds that are invested in the broad market. That's how I built my financial freedom. That's not the sexy thing because you want results fast, right? By the way, I'm not saying that it's impossible to make money through these means. I'm just saying it's not probable and that the return on investment of your effort and time is better spent elsewhere, whether on finding a job or creating your own business that does take time and work. Make sure that you are in an emotional state that is centered, that allows system two slower thinking to take over, such that you don't fall into schemes that really want to separate you from your money and just make themselves richer. I hope that helps. I'm Oz Chen, and I hope you mind your money.